Hey everyone, welcome to project call number 10 for Universe and XYZ DAO. This is pretty amazing. It's already been 20 weeks since we've been doing these project calls, so time flying. But we'll go ahead and dive in and give y'all some of the updates from this past 2 weeks. First and foremost, we have done our first proposal and vote for the DAO. If anyone missed that, the reason that we were doing that, what that proposal was for, was to actually raise the Polymorph scramble price to basically freeze the contract so no one will scramble them. So the Polymorph scramble price is now like insanely high. You're not going to be able to go in there and scramble. The reason that we did this is so that we can upgrade the Polymorph contracts and actually start building a custom bridge to Polygon, because it's not as simple as us just taking their bridge for regular ERC 721s. So we have to do a little bit of work on that. And also this migration for the bridge is pretty necessary for things like the games that we want to build, the metaverse capabilities, being able to use characters in the metaverse and all that helps. Having some of those assets on Polygon, and this Polygon really is growing and doing stuff with like Polygon Studios and trying to build cool NFT tools. They're going to help more and more people kind of get onto those metaverses, and Polygon kind of makes that easier than doing that on layer 1 Ethereum, and also makes it feeless and cheaper. So that is a big reason why we moved to that for the game. And also what a really cool feature is that once we move that over to Polygon, our scrambles actually become pretty cheap too. So you're not going to have to pay an Ethereum gas fee to scramble. So a whole bunch of like awesome reasons why this move was pretty necessary for the polymorphs. Saves people gas, and honestly is just going to create more utility and more more things for your polymorph to be able to do. I'm going to turn it over to Ryan so he can give some updates on the auctions and minting. We've been giving some updates on those the last few weeks, so we'll let Ryan take that away.
Nice. Thanks, Mark, and super excited about the polymorph upgrades, obviously. I think I can speak for everyone when I say that.
Oh, yeah.
On the auctions and minting front, though, we are making a lot of good progress. So we've had the auction platform, as most of you know, being kind of rebuilt, a good chunk of it, and have had that audited. So the audits have came back. We're working through all of the suggestions that the auditors have proposed, and we're kind of testing all of the functionality within a testnet UI and all of that. So there's a lot of testing going on. Once we finish this round of audits, then they'll send a new round, and then hopefully there will be less issues until all the issues are marked away, and we'll be ready to release. Additionally, in light of kind of recent events with Poly Network and all the major DeFi hacks we're seeing, we are going to reach out to additional auditing firms and try to get as many different eyeballs as we can on our contracts. While we are comfortable with the code being written and have really, really, really good devs, it never hurts to get more eyeballs on it. And we want to make sure that everyone's NFTs are as secure as they can be, and that there's no crazy big brain issues that come up that would cause anyone to lose their funds or their NFTs or anything like that. So a lot of focus on good testing and auditing. I mean, I wish I could give more feature updates or anything like that, but in reality, right now, our biggest priority with the auctions is to get them out. And to do that, we just need to keep having this stuff tested and the auditors to continue auditing. Mark, if you want to jump over to the rarity charts, that would be cool.
Yep, I can go over that. And yeah, I just want to stress again, like how important audits are in this space. A lot of the NFT, so for a lot of our listeners, we, Tyler and Troy are founders of Barbridge, and in DeFi, we have a lot of new NFT people who are, haven't explored DeFi yet. And so like audits are kind of new to NFT NFT buyers, they hear this word audits. Audits are just something that we have to do, and something that we take very seriously from like what we've learned at Barnbridge and watching other DeFi protocols over the years. Is security is super important. And although DeFi is more handling money and NFTs is more NFTs, you don't want to lose NFTs, the same way you don't want to lose money, because some people have, really, really expensive NFTs,
Right. Like punks. Like, I mean, you don't want your NFTs getting misplaced. You don't want the infrastructure that they're on to collapse and the image disappears,
or that they're being exploit, that you try to send your punk to someone and it gets rerouted to some other wallet because our code wasn't flawless on the backside. So it sucks that it's taken us a minute to do this, but this is probably the most important steps that we're taking over the next month, that we do our due diligence and get this shit done and get it re-audited and make sure we have as many eyes on this, and just have, just take our time, take the proper steps, and be cautious here, because this is just the finishing line, and we just got to make sure we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's and everything looks good. Because like I said 100 times before, security is just something we take super, super important, and we're going to continue to do that, because we don't want to be responsible for someone losing an NFT or losing funds on our platform. So, okay, on a happier note, I'm going to release the Polymorph rarity charts. Our plan was to release it in between the last 2 weeks. So I said on the last project call we were going to release it, but we ran into an issue and we had to work around some problems, and those problems have been reworked and fixed. So we are just doing a little bit more testing into the weekend, and hopefully we can get the Polymorph rarity chart up this weekend. If not, it'll be up by Monday at the latest. So our apologies for that taking so long. It was a little bit harder than we thought at first, and then we ran into some issues, but we fixed them. So we're ready to go. We just got to test a little bit more and make sure we're 100%, and then we will release that. Sorry that the polymorph freezing or the polymorph scrambling is frozen as we're releasing the rarity charts. We are going to turn the polymorph scrambling back to normal. It's just a safety precaution that we don't want people messing with the contracts while we're editing them and migrating them over. Because like we said, security and safety is something we take super, it's something we are super important about. We just do not want to lose people's NFTs, and editing contracts and having people use them at the same time problems tend to happen. So we decided to just turn it off temporarily, and we will turn it back on, and then everyone can resume and use the rarity chart however they need. But there was a very important reason why we did this, and it is because we have to this migration and building this bridge is super necessary for all these games and things we're building. The last thing I would like to talk about, and this is probably going to be a pretty quick call just because we want to limit how much alpha we leak, just because we've been leaking a lot of alpha over the last few weeks on Twitter and Discord. But we've been working on some burn to mint derivatives of the polymorphs, which means that if you have a polymorph right now, you're going to have the option to burn one of your current polymorphs for other polymorph derivatives. And two of the derivatives that we're working on right now are is a 2D, 3D version, which is just like a more realistic looking polymorph. This would be more like of a video game looking character, but it's not a 3D character. It's still a 2D image. And then we are also working on something called the polymorphic Faces, which is honestly a really cool project. And talking about it a little bit on Twitter and internally and to some artists that I personally reached out to. But we are actually looking for some artists to do a collaborative polymorph burn to mint project that basically you take a polymorph, you burn it, and then you'll get an NFT back that's also scramblable. But what it is it's like an artistic face of a bunch of different artists. They're going to all draw like a full face. And then that face is scrambled with all the other different faces that all the other artists do. And it creates this one face that you can go and scramble certain traits. So like, you know, imagine taking all of our faces and mixing them all together and us having like sections of, you know, each of our faces on an NFT and then be able to scramble it. And maybe you could get a full Drago's face or a full Algernon face. So, you know, it's kind of a cool idea, and you can take all these different styles and different artists and allow them to bring their style in. Then it all comes together as one piece of art, but it's actually a conglomerate of, you know, 11 to 12 artists who did this and make this one cool picture that's become scramblable. And then you can basically either get a full face or, you know, one of the artists we have working with us, his name is Space Renders. And like, he's got a really cool style, but like, you know, say he draws 3 faces, you could try to scramble to either get a whole face like that Space Render did, or maybe mix all 3 of Space Render styles together and have like a Space Render polymorph NFT face, or have a mix of all the artists on it. So it's a really cool kind of derivative of polymorph. It will still use the polymorph contract. You're going to be able to scramble them. So just another cool idea of how to utilize this polymorph contract and make a cool collaborative art project, and also get some NFT artists some exposure and maybe get them noticed by someone that maybe had not seen their collection before. So that's something that's really important to us. Like we always say, is promoting artists, giving back to artists, and like, you know, getting artists to do these drops and have fun with us and make new friends. So something that we're really looking forward to. And I personally have already really enjoyed getting to talk to some really cool artists. And I'm looking forward to getting, watching this project come to life and seeing everyone work together and kind of new friendships get made. That's kind of how, I mean, kind of a little ranting a little bit, but I feel like the NFT community is just like so quick to like jump and help and like want to do like collaborative projects. It's just, I think it's going to be cool getting to watch a bunch of artists that don't know each other come together and make a really cool project and kind of bring it to life. So I'm excited about that. I hope everyone else is. We can wrap this call up with community questions. I saw that we had some questions. So Steve says he's bumping my question for, are future NFT drops from the team going to be prioritized to holders of the XYZ tokens or polymorphs, i.e. an exclusive grace period to buy ahead of the general public? That's a good question, Steve.
Wait, which one is this? What the questions if we'll give polymorph holders premium access to buy?
Yeah,
like,
give them
sounds like pre-sale
for certain NFTs. If we're gonna give XYZ holders or polymorph holders like an exclusive, like, yeah, like Ali said, like pre-sale, like a grace period to maybe snag an NFT before.
That isn't something we've decided for sure yet. It's right, basically.
Yeah, I would say it's TBD. Like there's all sorts of stuff that can affect that. Like a lot of the NFT stuff that we'll be dropping earlier on will be like burn to mint, like the bridge to Polygon for the game, like will change. But yeah, I mean, I think that we can work on those types of features in the future to build more utility for XYZ holders, but like how exactly we do that, I don't think we are ready to quite commit to figuring out what that looks like. So yeah, I would just say in general that I think that we've got a lot of stuff in the pipeline, and that's a cool idea. I just think it's something that we're probably a couple months out from even thinking about something like that.
Yeah. I mean, one big thing I would touch on is like, we have other drops in the pipeline, but one thing that we really tried to focus on the last few months was really prioritizing polymorphs, moved team.
Yeah, we want to get polymorphs like we don't want to get the reputation that we're like doing more drops before we like see the other ones through, and like we just did polymorphs, and like we're building a lot, like between the games, the rarity charts, the meant to burn, the abstracts, like it probably a better answer to that question is that we're really not focused on timelines for new NFT drops until we see through the platform launching, the auction and mintings, the marketplace, and then
I guess the best answer is you're not going to get any of our next NFT drops if you don't have a polymorph, because you have to physically burn a polymorph to get one of these polymorph derivatives. And our next NFT drops are going to be polymorph derivatives. So the price
you're going to need polymorphs
only for polymorph holders. You're not going to be able to buy these NFTs.
But that's not going to always be true. So like there are ways we can prioritize
these ones that we got coming out are these burn to mint ones. You do need a polymorph.
Yeah. So in the immediate future, let's say that at least the next 3 months, like we're pretty focused on polymorphs. I mean, we're building
getting our auctions and minting out, focusing on marketplace. Like we really want to get our tools out.
Yep.
Have stuff we've been working on over the last 6 months that is ready to go, but I wouldn't say ready to go, but it's close. But like Tyler said,
we want to see
on what we have. Yeah, exactly. There's still a lot of work to be done on polymorphs. We're not in a rush and we're not going anywhere. We're focusing on this right now and focusing on what's at hand. And but it was a really good question, Steve.
Yeah, there's like an infinite amount of stuff we can build. The hardest thing in this metaverse is focusing and getting the immediate stuff out without having too much feature creep.
Yeah. I'm going to start doing at the end of the calls. We're just do update. It looks like 18 people claim the airdrop. We're at 18 now.
Is there any more questions in that server channel?
No, I mean there is some questions, but they get answered and it's like a conversation. The only one that didn't get answered, Steve rebumped and we just answered it.
We're gonna need the front end, Mark, so you can see like how many weeks remaining until you get your the whole bonus of the airdrop. That's gonna come out like today or tomorrow, the following days. So
nice. Perfect. Yeah. That was definitely something that the community asked for in this channel, this project management call channel. And just to clarify what Drago said is we're adding like a week to like on the yield farming where you see the epoch for 11 out of 20 weeks. We're going to add that week counter basically. So it'll be like 3 out of 100 weeks is the current airdrop week, I think. So that you know how many weeks you've been in the airdrop. That was a request. So we're adding that. And Drago said that'll be up in the next few days. So I think that's everything. Thank you, everyone. Tune in to us next week or in 2 weeks. Hit like, subscribe, share with your friends. Follow us on Twitter. Keep up with updates.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I'm literally shaking.
I'm literally shaking right now.
Nice. Bye,
And
guys.
shout out to the Fluffs, man. Shout out to Aaron. Thank you to all the universe supporters who went into that channel and really supported our partners. We really, really appreciate that. Everyone supporting the Fluffs, and kind of we just love our community. Thank you guys. You know, we didn't really expect that from you guys to all jump to that so fast. We heard your feedback. We'll try and give y'all a little bit more. You know, we thought we were marketing it as well as we could, but some people had said that they wish that we promoted the Fluffs a little bit more because it was a universe affiliated drop. So we heard.
We were all kind of taken by a little bit of surprise. Like, they were really supposed to have dropped that Thursday, and then even on that Saturday, it got delayed again. And like, literally, I signed off, being like, okay, this thing's gonna get dropped again, pushed. So like, I didn't get any either. If anybody, like, if it's any solace, like, so it could have been planned better on both sides, and I don't think that's a problem. It was a super successful drop. These things are a clusterfuck. They always are. Like, I mean, we'll
all just try to give a better heads up next time. I think that was just the only community suggestion, was maybe a better heads up would have been dope. But
we'll do that.
We'll work
next time we all skip leg day. We'll make sure to let everybody else know to skip it as well.
Exactly. All right, team.
Get some faster internet. Come on over from Australia to the US, guys.
Please, Fluffy business.
We like the Fluffs.
All right, guys.
Cheers, guys.
See you, everyone.
Bye, guys.